Afternoon, guys. How you going? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today I'm going to be doing a movie review. This is going to be an American independent horror film. It was made in 2008, directed by James Isaac, and this movie is called Pig Hunt. The story is as follows. And by the way, this might have very, very minor spoilers. It's not going to ruin the experience, but if you don't want any spoilers at all, I would suggest you turn off this video, but the spoilers are so minor that it's not going to dampen your experience for this film. So the story is as follows. When John takes his San Francisco friends to his deceased uncle's remote ranch to hunt wild pigs, it seems like a typical guy's weekend with guns, despite the presence of John's sexy girlfriend Brooks. But as John and his crew trek deeper into the forest, they begin tracking the awful truth about his uncle's demise and the legend of the Ripper, a murderous 3,000-pound black boar, all the while being chased through the forest by a pack of murderous hillbillies. So basically what we have, a group of friends from the city are going on a weekend retreat to one of the characters' uncle's ranch. The uncle has since passed away in mysterious circumstances, and it's common belief that his demise was a result of a run-in with the Ripper, which is a 3,000-pound black boar. And it's not really certain whether or not this black boar, 3,000 pound, exists or not. It's something of a legend. So they're cautious about the fact that he could exist, but they're skeptical. So they go this weekend. It's actually a hunting trip. So they've packed their guns, and one of the characters' girlfriends coming along. That creates a little bit of tension and awkwardness because it's supposed to be a guy's weekend, but yeah, obviously the girl kind of interrupts that. So they get to this remote area and they go into the forest and they're doing a bit of pig hunting. This is where they meet up with two locals. Now the two locals have a connection with the main character, so while they're not friends, they're more acquaintances. It's a very uncomfortable acquaintance, and the locals are really making the city folk feel really uncomfortable, and they're really enjoying it too. So it is your typical sort of southern hillbilly sort of stereotype, but that doesn't matter. So they go on this hunting trip. They've got their guns ready, and they're hunting boars. And as I said, the legend of this Ripper is always on their mind. They're always talking about it, and they're always saying they're going to kill it, but they don't know for sure if it exists. So their intention is to hunt some just normal boars. So they're going through. One thing leads to another. There is an incident involving the city folk and the hillbillies, which results in even more hillbillies coming after them in the forest, wanting revenge. And these are all really, really mad guys and yeah, psychopaths. So the city folk basically have to run for their lives from these hillbillies, and at the same time try and keep away from the Ripper, who may or may not exist. But the small spoiler is the Ripper does exist, but it's not going to dampen the experience for you. It's not a twist. It's something that's always there. It's fairly obvious, but it never really tells you if he does exist until the end. But as I said, it's not a spoiler. You can put two and two together because it is pretty obvious that the boar, you know, does is alive. So that's the minor spoiler in the film. So hopefully that wasn't too much. And as I said, it's not really a big deal, so you don't have to worry about it. So anyway, my thoughts on the film. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Now, it's not the best film. It is a really weird film, I have to tell you that. It kind of goes along the hunting, and then it just turns into a really surreal kind of film when they meet these hippies. And I just felt, I was looking at it, watching it, and I thought, okay, this is not supposed to be a serious film. It is a really surreal sort of film. It does have its funny moments. It's got some very good action sequences, and it's got some very good suspense in it too. Whether you don't get to see the boar, but you know something big is hunting, these people, and it does create some pretty good suspense, which was really surprising because I thought this was just going to be a straight out outrageous gore fest. Surprisingly, there wasn't too much gore. Near the end, there is quite a bit, but it does have a slow build up, and I felt that that didn't hurt the film because the setting and the environment and the atmosphere was really good. So it's not something, the slow build up isn't something that's going to get you bored. It does have its value outside of the horror and gore. As I said, it is pretty funny. The characters are fairly exaggerated. Now, there's a black guy, there's the simpleton who is a little bit annoying, to be quite honest. He's got his dog and he's in love with his dog. Not literally, like sexually, but he treasures his dog, and it does get quite annoying, but it's deliberately there. I mean, all these characters have unique personalities, and there are some really annoying ones and some others that aren't quite so annoying. There are a few one-liners in this film that are fairly funny. So if you go into this wanting a realistic sort of horror film, then you're going to be bitterly disappointed. This is just a really sort of fun ride. As I said, it really does start getting weird. I mean, the movie goes in different directions. It starts off as a fairly serious, straight-out movie, but then it just turns into a crazy sort of movie. The scenes, as I said, with the hippies, it's just really bizarre. And I actually thought that when you get to see the boar at the end, it was done really, really well. It's a huge boar, it's CGI, but it looked great. So there is a constant letdown for me in creature features. You see the creature and it just looks stupid. But I can say that the boar in this film looked really, really good, so you won't be disappointed with that one. There were a few moments here and there that look really fake. The violence, the gore, some of it looked really fake, but I think that was the intention. This is not a film to be taken seriously. At no point does the director of this film and the people who made it take themselves too seriously. It really is just a fun ride, and if you go in there with the right mind frame and treat it for what it is, you will get a lot of enjoyment out of it, because it's not a film you can take seriously, as I said. It doesn't try to be something it's not, so you have to applaud it for that. So I would recommend it. It does have some good gore, but you have to wait just a little bit for it. Just a good fun ride. Don't expect anything serious, because it is pretty crazy, and even the villains were pretty crazy too. And there's some really good action sequences and some chases as well. So it is a well-made film. It is a film I would recommend, but only if you're bored on a Friday night. Don't look for anything that's going to make you think. Just sit back, have a good time, and enjoy what this film has to offer. The acting, as I said, is exaggerated. I think I've covered that already. I'm just trying to think of anything else that I may have missed. I don't write down my reviews, so that's just about it. I mean, the director, yeah, made a fairly solid film out of this one. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.